People are terrified after watching what happened to Sarah Kim. She gave everything, working a full-time job, making content to support her family, even while pregnant and struggling to make ends meet. And where was her husband, Andrew Min, sitting at home, playing video games, unemployed, and living off Sarah's hard work? It gets worse. Andrew used Sarah's money to fund his grad school and buy himself expensive designer gifts. Then he turned around and publicly humiliated her, calling her cruel and terrible in front of thousands of people online.
So some of you have had the honor of seeing me humiliate myself on the internet, right? If you've seen any of my wife's videos, and she enjoys this process of pointing it out, and it can be difficult. It's cruel, right? What kind of cruel person does this? And
as if she's the villain for simply sharing her truth. He mocked her struggles, acting like he was the victim. And instead of being held accountable, Andrew is being praised by some men online. They applaud him for trapping Sarah in a marriage, for making her carry the entire burden while he did nothing. They call it traditional gender roles. But let's be honest, this isn't about tradition. This is exploitation. Sarah deserved better. No woman should be used, disrespected, and discarded like this. And now, people are asking, is this the new normal? Are women supposed to just accept this? This shouldn't be acceptable in any relationship, ever.
How do you as a man look at your pregnant wife that works 2 fucking jobs while doing content creation on the side and decide to yourself that you're not going to cook or clean, you're going to play fucking video games all day? Like, are we serious, my boy? Like, you are probably the most pathetic excuse for a man that I've ever seen in my entire life. For those of you who don't know who I'm talking about, there's this content creator named Sarah Kim, and she's married to this dumbass dude named Andrew, and this girl is literally pregnant and works 2 fucking jobs and is the sole breadwinner of her family, and this dumbass dude Andrew doesn't do fucking anything to contribute or help out with the relationship and just sits around the house and does fucking nothing. Like, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, you are not even her husband.
I agree. I 100% agree. That man, her husband, is a piece of shit of a man. But here's the thing. What does that solve? Blaming the man does what? Because here's the thing. A lot of people don't understand. This is why I stand on accountability. I stand on accountability. We can say that he's a piece of shit of a man. Yet, that woman still stays with him, is giving him a child, is still providing for him. So, what? Because this is the thing. She chose that man. This is the thing why accountability matters. Everyone can see the red flags. She is choosing not to. This is the thing where, this is a problem with a lot of women, where they love to choose the bad man. They love to choose the bad men. And then at the end, say, oh my God, he was this, that. But here's the thing, you chose him. You choose to ignore red flags. You choose to ignore everything that is glaringly bad. And you stuck with him. It's like, I can't never understand now. I get it, love. I mean, I do understand love can make you stupid. But there's a point. There is a limit. There is a limit. And there's a level. I can't imagine what she can love about him. It doesn't seem like he treats her well. That's the thing. It doesn't seem he treats her well. And women are generally controlled by sex. So really, it's not sexual access that she is desiring. That's the thing where you look at it, love. What about that is love? What about that is love? So how could she be controlled really by love? I think she's controlled by her ego. By, okay, I chose this man, I committed to this man. I don't want to say I was wrong in choosing the man. Personal opinion for that. But this is the thing where a lot of women, they choose men not on their integrity, morality, character, their actions. They choose men on their words. Choose men on words, looks, and wealth. Which he probably doesn't have wealth, and he's not that good looking, but he probably what she thinks is good, probably words. This is the thing where women consistently, oh, I love a man that's charming. Guess what? A man that's charming, he's practiced it. He has practiced it. He has practiced it on multiple women. And charming is basically manipulating. It's manipulation. Charming is basically manipulation in a pretty package. That's it. And this is the thing where I say, yes, he is a shitty man. But how can you blame a shitty man? Because in this world, we have good people and bad people. No, there's no doubt about it. There's nothing you can do to change about it. What you can do is what you choose not to deal with the shitty people. But here's the thing. How can you blame him? How can you criticize him when she chooses him? She's willingly to be with, she's not forced. She is willingly choosing him. So how can how can you hold a man accountable when he's a shitty person, yet he's being provided for, he has a woman, and he's getting a child from her? It's like, that's enabling. He can be a shitty person because there's no consequences to it. That's the thing where we don't talk about. Yes, this is probably victim blaming, but here's the thing. We're not holding people accountable. The people that actually matters to hold accountable. She's suffering. He's not. So he's enjoying his place in life. She's not. So accountability falls on her. But no, let's blame the man, and then what? It doesn't solve nothing. He's perfectly fine.
This TikToker's husband has quickly become the worst example of a man on TikTok after going viral for being a stay-at-home dad who does nothing. His name is Andrew Min, and this started when his wife Sarah Kim went on a podcast recently explaining how she's basically the sole provider for her and her husband since she works a 9 to 5 while traveling 2 hours daily to work while also being an influencer. Meanwhile, she's also pregnant, which has put her in a tough position considering she's now struggling to pay the bills. But when she mentioned her pastor husband Andrew on her podcast, she explained all he does is stay at home, being unemployed, playing video games. He even used Sarah's salary to pay for his college expenses, and it seems like he's just using Sarah, with thousands of comments making fun of him. However, Andrew's image got even worse after he was caught talking bad about Sarah behind her back.
She loves to laugh at me, and not just laugh at me, but point it out and be like, what did you just say?
And considering Sarah seemed really skeptical when she found out that she was pregnant, everyone is now saying that her husband trapped her into this marriage since they're now having a kid. Meanwhile, he's basically using her and talking behind her back.
Okay, I wanted to talk about the whole Sarah Kim thing. You probably don't know her, but I'll show videos. She is a good case study of a lot of things. One, this is a thing where people say that he groomed her. He was 28, I think, and she was like 20 when they met. She wasn't a kid. She wasn't a kid. So I don't necessarily see that as grooming. I'm not saying that he didn't probably manipulate her, but here's the thing. Charming men. Charm is manipulation. It's like, this is a thing where it's like, that's nothing new. There's nothing new. But here's the thing where you gotta think. You can only be able to manipulate someone, in my personal opinion. Most cases, no, I'm not saying all, because I'm not saying I know all, is that she has to have been interested in him. There has to be some kind of interest, because if you can say men in general can manipulate women, that is a lie, because there are men out there that women will automatically find creepy, disgusting, unattractive, whatever. Nothing he can do that will change her mind or will make her want to be with him. Either there's nothing or nothing that comes off the top of my head that he can do. So he has to have something that would attract her or make her interested in him anyway. So most men that women are into technically kind of manipulates them in a way. You know, the charm, you know, the talking, stuff like that. So you're charming her, essentially kind of manipulating her. So yeah. Now, so that's the thing where I don't really think it was grooming. Here's the thing where I do want to talk about, and I mentioned it before in another video, is that she's a case study in why you can't hold bad men accountable. You can't hold bad men accountable. All you can do is hold the people that pick him accountable. Why? So, this is the thing. He's a shitty man. Like the things you hear about him, the things that you see that he insults her when he was like preaching, or you hear that he does nothing in the household, pretty much, and she does everything, provide, take care of him, take care of the household. He does nothing. He's an absolutely lazy bum. Here's the thing. No duh. You can see that. It's not subtle. It's not subtle. Now, I don't know what he does behind the scene, but publicly, I cannot imagine anything good about him. I just can't. So, visibly, you can see him as a big-ass red flag. And yet, she still stays with him. She still stays with him. She still picks him, whatever her reason is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The reasoning is that it's not slavery. It's not force, not shackled. She still willingly stays with him. So, how can you hold shitty men accountable? How can you hold shitty men accountable when, in the end, they win? They technically win. He has the woman. The woman's taking care of him. He has the life that he wants. So, how can you hold shitty men accountable when, what do you say? What's the alternative? Like, how do you say, okay, you shouldn't do this because you won't get the girl? He got the girl. So really, you can't hold shitty men accountable when they're winning. That's the thing where, just like, let's say, a man that has like 10 baby mamas, and he's a shitty father. He's a shitty father. Neglectful, he's a deadbeat. He has 10 baby mamas. What can you say to him that'll make him change when you will know that he has a 11th baby mama on the way? How can you tell him differently when essentially he's winning in what he perceives as winning? He has the girls. He's impregnated a bunch of women. He had sex. He's used all these women's bodies. What can you say to make him not do the things he's doing? You can't say nothing. You can't hold him accountable. You can't do nothing, because what can you say? Oh, what? Decides for the government that, puts him in child support. But again, that's not that big of a thing for these types of men. You can't tell them, oh, you know what, you should stop this because, you know what, women don't want you. Well, you can see that women do. So just like this, the Sarah Kim thing, you can't hold a shitty man accountable, because no matter how shitty he is, women still want him. Or the women that he's with still wants him. She's willing to take care of him, willing to give him a child, willing to support him. So why we hold women accountable is that at the end of the day, you see that red flag. Don't choose him. Don't choose them. You can't change shitty men. You can't change. Please don't think you can change shitty men. What you can change, if you don't complain about it, fine. But what you can change is that you see the red flags and you don't choose the men with red flags or with absolutely egregious red flags, absolutely terrible red flags. Don't choose those men. Plain and simple. So that's why I've always said that accountability is that you can only control yourself, your own actions. You can't control other people's actions. Stop that shit. Stop it, please. It's just beyond me that we want to change others. We want to control other people's, actions and words. You can't. What you control is your own actions, your own words. That's accountable. That's being accountable.
What do Sarah Kim, Evelyn Ha, and Hallie Kate have in common? It's that I had no idea who they were until they appeared on my FYP because of relationship drama. Basically, Sarah, who has millions of followers, decided to make a podcast with her husband Andrew, and it was revealed that Andrew is unemployed and Sarah is working multiple jobs with a baby on the way. Nothing crazy about this arrangement. I mean, it's 2025, you're allowed to have a stay-at-home husband. And then people were freaking out that he called her a person in his house during one of his sermons. The context was something like, imagine you're trying to learn Korean, but this person in your house is like making fun of you. Since Andrew doesn't know Korean and Sarah's Korean is very good. It's obviously like a joke. And second of all, he's like a pastor. That is a job. Should Andrew contribute more to childcare and chores then since he makes less? He should, and he probably does. I don't think it's said in the podcast that he doesn't do those things. And I wouldn't be surprised if they wanted him to like act ungrateful or act like he doesn't do those things in order to produce rage bait. They're probably high-fiving each other over how much revenue this podcast is bringing in right now. Same thing with Hallie Kate. She broke up with her boyfriend, then a girl she thought she was friends with ended up going on a date with him while they were broken up, and then they later got back together. But the whole drama is between them and the man doesn't say anything about it. Not to mention, she's still dating him. They probably scripted this in Culture Espresso. And then after both of them grew their follower bases significantly, they probably went to get matcha and do Pilates together. And Evelyn too, like, she posted a "we listen and we don't judge" trend with her boyfriend who's like a tech millionaire. And he's kind of like acting like an asshole throughout it, and he says that he threw away her PR packages. This video got so much backlash that they took it down and re-recorded it, but I'm pretty sure that was also planned. I think after that video, she posted something along the lines of "don't believe everything you see online" and admitted that the PR packages thing was a joke. Cause again, like rage bait, but that probably took it too far. Do you really think someone like her would stay with someone who throws away her stuff without asking? And that someone who took such extreme measures to even meet her would end up treating her like that? No way, no way. Like, they probably made that video because it's Evelyn's job. Farming views with dramatic storylines is just part of the game. Each follower is like $1, and these guys are the best in their field. Sarah has made a response now, and basically my takeaway is that no one would be this mad if Andrew was hotter. In the video, she points out that if you're dating someone for years, there's going to be a point where one of you becomes unemployed. Layoffs happen, things like that. She also clarified that he has a job now. Some people took my previous video to mean I was on Andrew's side. I'm not on any sides. I'm saying the whole thing is a psyop. They probably dramatized their home lives a little because that's Sarah's job, and then you guys took it way too far. When like, literally both of them are working. But I would go as far as to say, even if he was unemployed and she was working 2 jobs, that's totally fine. These past couple months, I've been continuously awakened to the fact that people are much less progressive than they let on. And they'll talk about equity, but they'll be unable to let go of certain double standards. This goes for women as well as men. They don't like it when someone conventionally attractive dates someone unattractive without being compensated. They don't like it when a woman is the provider, and they definitely don't like it when the man stays at home. Seriously, so many people are like, he called you cruel, he doesn't love you. Okay, like, I'll call you a manipulative, conniving dictator. That's obviously a joke, right?